There's no one in the world today could beat me.
That's huge right hand. That should be it. And down goes Holmes, and that's going to be it. It's over. That's all.
There comes a time in every great boxer's career when they have to beat the man who beat the man. And while Larry Holmes wasn't technically the lineal champion in 1988, in the eyes of boxing fans, he was the must-have name for any heavyweight resume for a fighter to truly claim flag-bearer status in the heavyweight division. As documented in our previous videos in the series, Tyson had fought an array of technically renowned boxers during his reign as champion. However, their skill sets were primarily imitations and paled in comparison to the legendary arsenal the long-reigning king Larry Holmes brought to the table.
Larry Holmes will kill you, literally kill you if you let him.
It was arguably the most important fight of prime Mike Tyson's career, and time has remembered it as one of the most significant fights in heavyweight history. The night Tyson sought revenge for his boxing idol. Let's take a look.
Now let's see if the pace changes and ready. Good right hand, good combination, scored! Holmes is coming.
Larry Holmes burst onto the heavyweight scene in 1978 after successfully challenging Ken Norton for the WBC title. It was a violent affair that culminated in a breathtaking final round where Holmes had to win to get the decision.
Both fighters courageous as Holmes comes back, scores it! He's getting under trouble!
Larry Holmes was a relatively unknown quantity by the time he became champion, having only shared the ring with one notable name in Ernie Shavers. But behind the scenes, his reputation was infamous, particularly among the heavyweight elites, as the likeness of Larry's style to Ali's made for perfect sparring for top guys like Ernie Shavers and Joe Frazier as they prepared to take on the king of the heavyweight division.
You're going to see two heavyweight champions fighting. One is the phony and one is the real one.
Ali himself took a close liking to Holmes, bringing the dubbed Easton Assassin on board the team as early as 1968, helping to nurture a talent that would one day conquer the golden generation of the heavyweight division. After capturing the title from Norton, Holmes wiped the floor with the rest of the 1970s dwindling contenders, where a certain Michael Gerard Tyson paid close attention while serving time in a youth correctional facility.
I want Larry Holmes to get in the ring and prove to the world that he's the reigning heavyweight champion that he say he is.
With a multitude of talented young fighters on the rise in the early 80s, Holmes had his work cut out for him as he led the charge as the new face of the division. However, one man for the previous generation wasn't quite prepared to allow a new crop to blossom without getting wet.
And I'm coming back because I'm going to be the champ 4 times. I promise you, it'll be a miracle. Holmes will be no contest.
As much as the boxing public wanted to believe that Ali still possessed the smoke required to deal with yet another monster in the heavyweight division, it was clear that this time his chances were slim to none. Ali had been out of the ring for 2 years, and his health was in disarray. He might have overcome the odds to beat Liston and Foreman in the past, but at this stage in his career, it was difficult to see any route to victory against what was now a prime Larry Holmes.
Ali has been your idol. Will you take it easy on him?
My thing is to go out there and knock him out, to hurt this man, not to take it easy on him. That is not my job.
I get the idea that Muhammad Ali might explode at any time, too.
At the end of the day, this is the hurt business. There's no place for anything other than a rather him than me attitude. And Holmes stayed true to his word of putting friendships aside as he became the first and only person to defeat Muhammad Ali inside the distance.
That's it. They stopped the fight at TKO.
Ali took a hellacious one-sided beating. It was a tough watch for all involved, but it struck an even deeper chord with a young boxer from Brooklyn whose trainer had a close personal relationship with the surmounted former icon of the ring.
Well, you know, my adopted father and my mentor, Customato, is very close with Ali, and their birthday's on the same day, January 17th. And every day they call each other to talk crap, and when they call them, I'm on the other phone, and I'm listening to a conversation. He would never let me talk to him, so I sneak and hang on the phone, because he didn't hear too well, so he couldn't hear me getting on the phone. I would hear him talking. And so I talked to Ali, and Ali had just lost to Larry Holmes that night. Yeah. The next morning, they were talking on the phone, and Cuss was mad that they lost, and then after all of a sudden, he said, hold it, I got a 14-year-old kid, black kid here, he's gonna be champ of the world. Tell him to listen to me, okay? Just tell him to listen to me. He said, okay. But I'm crying while he's saying it. When I get big, I'm gonna get him for you. When I get big, not when I'm a champion, when I'm a top fighter, when I get big, because I'm only 14. But then when I get big, then I'm saying, I'll get him when I get big. I'm gonna get him for you.
There are a lot of misconceptions about who Mike Tyson truly idolized as a young boxer coming up. You hear a lot about Jack Dempsey and Roberto Duran, but the truth is Muhammad Ali meant the world to him. He admired his skills, bravado, and most importantly his courage. As intelligent and punctual as Tyson is today, he still struggles to find words to describe his admiration for Ali.
Fuck me. Ali's a giant. There's no way other fighters can match him. He'll die for this shit. He'll die. I'm not gonna die for this.
Larry Holmes was prepared to face the backlash of defeating the world's biggest sporting icon as he tried to save face in the direct aftermath by crying in his post-fight interview.
It hurt you to punish him that way, didn't it?
I feel that he fought one of the baddest heavyweights in the world today, and you cannot take credit from him.
However, that heartbroken 14-year-old kid represented how most of the sporting world felt as a consequence of Ali Holmes. Larry was now the villain, and the press pushed this portrayal so hard that Holmes himself eventually succumbed to the narrative, as stories of Larry relentlessly beating his sparring partners, all the while trashing former kings of the ring, propagated and overshadowed the greatness he was producing in the squared circle.
I mean, if you really want to get technical about the whole thing, Rocky couldn't carry my jockstrap. If I hurt your feelings back there, so f***ing what?
As unlikable as Holmes seemed, his run as champion warranted respect. He made 19 world title defenses, with 8 of those against young, undefeated rising top talents. He took on all comers and left no stones unturned. By 1985, he'd amassed a record of 48-0 and would only suffer his first defeat at the hands of what many felt was a robbery against Michael Spinks.
I don't think there's going to be a lot of agreement, Ray, with that decision here at the Hilton Hotel.
The loss, even given the fact many thought he had won, was enough for Larry to hang him up. He felt he'd achieved everything possible and did it all without getting the plaudits he deserved from the media and fans. However, there was one more name, one last undefeated fighter, that, if he could best, would surely change the public's perception.
People are saying, Larry Holmes, why? They won't say that anymore after this, because I know what I'm doing. If they want to make him out of a beast that he's claimed to be, he's going to be in there with a beast. I'm an experienced professional fighter. I am no kid. I do not play. I'm going to knock this guy out.
To me, guys, the real issue here is how Larry Holmes is going to deal with this force of nature in front of him when he gets hurt.
Larry Holmes returned from an 18-month hiatus on January 2nd, 1988 to challenge Mike Tyson for the undisputed heavyweight championship. Tyson entered the ring with his idol Muhammad Ali, who whispered, "Go get him for me, champ," in Mike's ear just before the first bell sounded.
Just hang on.
Yeah, I think that's really been the mystique of this fight this week, and I think that's really what's made it the event that it is. Round 1. I called Larry Holmes from my home, but once again, the popular school of thought is that Larry Holmes is going to have to back up Mike Tyson. Nobody's been able to do it yet.
The first round was a cagey feel-out affair, with Holmes, as Larry Merchant put it, being the landmark that avoided the wrecking ball.
And just to elaborate on that,
Mike, go to the body.
remember the numbering system we talked about before the fight.
The body's wide open and Tyson attacks him.
There's a left hook by Tyson.
That's the right hand.
Tyson says no, it didn't hurt. There's a right hand lead by Tyson. That was a big right hand. Best punch of the fight.
Tyson was a lot sharper in the second, beating the great Larry Holmes at his own game with the jab, which appeared to light a fuse in Larry as he came out to his own detriment with a spring in his step in the third.
Can pull together one big effort. Look at Larry Holmes. Larry Holmes is look at the jab right here. Look at the jab. It's starting to stick out.
That was a right hand, and down goes Holmes from a crashing right hand.
Tyson nailed Holmes with a devastating right hand midway through the fourth, which left the former champ scrambling around the ring, desperately trying to avoid Tyson's wide-winging hooks.
And down he goes again from another right.
He's still on Queer Street.
And took another big right hand.
Whoa. Tyson still has to be
As durable as Holmes was, no heavyweight could get up after crashing that hard to the canvas.
Okay, Mike Tyson, did this mean something special to you tonight because Larry Holmes was once an outstanding fighter?
Well, it's great to have the name on my record, but everyone knows Larry Holmes was a legendary fighter. And if he was at his best, I couldn't stand a chance. He was a great fighter. I admire him very much. Absolutely, yes.
The king is dead. Long live the new king.
Absolutely.
Thank you, Mike.
Thank you, Larry.
And back to ringside.
Mike's win over Larry is often overlooked today due to the circumstances and age difference between the two. Holmes was 38 after all. Yet, as Holmes would go on to prove, age is just a number when you have elite boxing skills to fall back on.
Body. Good right hand from Larry Holmes. Catches a jab moving out of there. Another right from Holmes.
In February 1992, 4 years after the Tyson fight, Holmes added yet another undefeated prospect to his resume in merciless Ray Mercer.
Right uppercut from Holmes, but not a lot on it. Good right hand and then the left from Holmes.
Mercer looked like the real deal after obliterating Tommy Morrison in his previous outing. Yet, Holmes was able to school him, as he would many other decent heavyweights right up until his retirement in 2002, 15 years after the Tyson match. To this day, Holmes is one of the most underappreciated champions in history. He forged his career in blood, showing tremendous courage, never ducking a single opponent, all while displaying beautiful boxing skills that are still studied by students of the game today. Tyson and Holmes remained good friends ever since their fight, but it was Mike's relationship with Ali that became stronger bonded by the battle.
Watch me, Ali. Champ, watch me, champ. I'm fast. Watch the feet, champ. My feet, watch the feet, champ. I'm bad, champ. I'm bad.
The two met annually to discuss all things life, right up until Ali's death in 2016.
Who would have won?